Dear students, welcome to Mdrasa. Today's lesson is going to be about comparatives. So by the end of the lesson, you will be able to use comparative of superiority, equality, and inferiority. Please don't forget to bring a piece of paper to write the most important notes. Let's get started. Number 1. Comparative of superiority. A. Short adjective. So we are going to see how to compare between two things using a short adjective. A short adjective has one syllable, like big. It has only one syllable. Let's consider the following example. Primary schools are smaller than secondary schools. So we are comparing primary schools to secondary schools using a short adjective small. So when you are comparing between two things and you want to use comparative of superiority, you need to add er to a short adjective. Again, what is a short adjective? It's the adjective which has one syllable. So short adjective plus er plus then when you are comparing between two things. Let's move on to the second rule. B. Long adjective. Now we are going to see what is the rule of comparing between two things using a long adjective. What is a long adjective? It's the adjective which has two syllables or more. Example, difficult, expensive. These adjectives, they have more than two syllables. Let's consider the following example. Public schools are more crowded than private schools. So we are comparing between public schools and private schools using a long adjective which is crowded. The adjective crowded, it has two syllables. Crowded. Therefore, it has a different rule. We don't add er to crowded. However, we should add more. Thus, we have the following rule. So if you want to compare between two things using a long adjective, you need to use more plus long adjective. Long adjective, it has two syllables or more plus than. So, public schools are more crowded than private schools. Note: some adjectives, however, are irregular. It means we cannot add er to them, and we cannot add more to them. Some examples of these irregular adjectives are good, bad, and far. So, good has an irregular form which is better than. Better than. We don't say gooder than. It's a wrong form. Second adjective is bad. The irregular form of bad is worse than. We don't say better than. And the last adjective is far. Now, far has an irregular form which is farther than. Farther than. We don't say farther than. It's a wrong form. So when you are comparing between two things, make sure to use the correct form of the irregular adjectives. So good, better, bad, worse, and far, farther. Number 2. Comparative of equality. Comparative of equality when you say that two things are equal, either in shape or importance. A. Positive equality. Example: primary schools teachers are as patient as secondary schools teachers. So here we are expressing comparative of equality. We are saying that primary schools teachers are patient in the same way that secondary schools teachers are patient. So if you want to express or if you want to talk about comparative of equality, you need to use the following form: as plus adjective plus as. Note that you can use both short adjectives and long adjectives when you are using comparative of equality. B. Comparative of equality with negative equality. Example: primary schools teachers are not as patient as secondary schools teachers. So if you want to express negative equality, simply you need to add not to as plus adjective plus as. So far we have talked about comparative of superiority and comparative of equality. Number 3 is comparative of inferiority. Example: in Britain, private schools are less expensive than university. So, if you want to express comparative of inferiority, you need to add less to the adjectives. So, less plus adjective plus than. Note that we can use both short and long adjectives when you are talking about comparative of inferiority. Spelling. Now, when you turn an adjective into its comparative form of superiority, you need to bear in mind that some words or the spelling of some words differ from one adjective to another. Rule number 1. If an adjective ends in a consonant plus vowel plus consonant, meaning CVC, it means consonant, vowel, consonant, we double the final consonant before ER. Example: my school bag is bigger than yours. So here we double this letter simply because we have CVC, consonant, vowel, consonant. So we need to double the final consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant. Rule number 2. If an adjective ends in a consonant plus Y, Y changes to I before ER. Example: my school bag is heavier than yours. So we change the Y into I plus ER. Heavier, heavier. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Please, dear students, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join our Facebook community. Please stay tuned for more videos.